And we live. Somebody needs to turn me down in the background. Cause I hear a slight echo.
I think it's Toya because she got no earphones.
Taking an earphone.
6'9" ass nigga, he tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, stitches get out quick.
How's that?
Stitches get out quick. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't see it yet on our Facebook update right now.
Yeah, take a look.
Facebook updating right now. Go on and share that.
And we live. Thank y'all for joining us, everybody that's coming in. Y'all go ahead, like the video as you come in, share the video as you come in. Let us know you in this hole.
Definitely.
We'll be starting shortly.
What's up, Jaleesa and Lamar? What's good, man?
What's cracking? It's gonna be an interesting show tonight.
Yeah, man. We a little off, but hey, man.
We in this
late than never. We in this thing, though.
I mean, we
Shout
more
out to
on time
Lamar,
than we
Jaleesa.
usually are. We more on time than we usually are. So
Daddy Duty's ran a little late tonight, man.
It'd be like that. But yeah, y'all share the video. Make sure everybody that need to see it get to see it. You feel me? And y'all let me know when y'all ready.
We ready.
Good to go.
We ready. We good to go. That's how it go. We ain't saying that.
All right, let's get it. Might as well get it started then. I'll go get it started. Yo, welcome to the Chop Up. Boy, down to the plug. You feel me? And I am here with my favorite people.
With
George Lee.
George Lee, aka Consciously. Don't forget the Lee.
Yeah.
We're here for 2020.
Toya G in this thing. Chilling with the boys. Toya G in the gang. Gang.
Yeah. It's lit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is episode 2 of the new year. You feel me? We got George back. My man had to deal with some, you know what I'm saying, some family things, but he's back in the building with the fresh edge up and the twist.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You feel me? But yeah, we gonna, you know what I'm saying, we gonna bullshit for too long. We can go ahead and get this shit started. And we're gonna start it the way we always started with that Snapchat.
Snapchat real quick. All right, I'm gonna set the stage for you. Currently, we got, young Delonte West out here. He's just surfaced on social media recently. And this is not a new thing. What I've seen is a lot of pictures over time, over the last few years of him. But here recently, the man is down bad, right? Pretty clear he has a drug habit or something like that. Unsure which one it is. But besides that, appearance is just all gone. He's sleeping on the streets. There's a lot of things going on with him. Second case in point. Who else was I talking about, Dominique? Outside of Delonte, AB is out here doing real bad. A lot of episodes. A lot of things started to go downhill when he was accused. Shout out.
And when you say AB, you talking about Antonio Brown, right?
Antonio Brown.
He used to be with the Steelers, then was with the Raiders, then was with the Patriots for a game before he got kicked off because of 2 different accusations of sexual assault misconduct. And then after that, he just really started wilding. Most recently, he cussed out the police in the viral video I seen last week, right? So just literally just cussed them. Just went out, they came. I guess his ex-wife came to steal a car of his, was unsuccessful. He didn't let her drive away with it, called the police, and then he just cussed them all out. Recently, though, he what did he just get arrested for?
I know he got them warrants out for his arrest.
He threw a bag of dicks at his baby mama.
No, and he disrespected. That's crazy as hell.
Yeah,
he assaulted a mover who was delivering something to him, but the agreement was cash on delivery or a money order, and something was wrong with the payment situation. He got mad at the mover person. Set the scene for that to say this. You got the NFL and the NBA, two major professional sporting leagues that privilege themselves and pride themselves off of the labor of black men.
Yeah.
In what ways do you feel like these organizations should be culpable and responsible for this? Are they off the hook because it's like you got your money, you got your check, you should have set yourself up, or do they owe something to these black men for them having, taken the best years of a lot of these people's lives and they just out there leaving them to dry?
I think they definitely culpable. Definitely culpable. I mean, the NBA, especially in the situation of Delonte West, and in the situation of many athletes, the same issue that we end up having with college in terms of not the investment, not paying out, the way that it should have or it should, not seeing those proper returns. You see that with the NBA and NFL, and how a small percentage turn it into a long-term career. You feel me? It really be about, I know the percentage is extremely low of the niggas who make it 10 years. You feel me? It's very few Vince Carters. Everybody's not gonna be a star.
How many years he been in? Over 20.
Yeah. And so I think the onus is on the NBA and the NFL to make sure that their players post lives, whether it's career player placement or career planning, paying for scholarships in terms of education for athletes to go back to school, if they left without getting a degree. All of that is it should be a part of the experience, given the fact that these players, these athletes sacrifice so much of themselves physically to create billions for other people. You feel me? They owe them a lot more than just like a possible endorsement deal. They should be able to help them get through the rest of their life, given their sacrifices.
Lee, what you think? They owe it to them, or get over it, tough it out, thug it out. That was your old life.
I think they owe it to them. I think they owe it to them based off of the mental labor they put in, the physical labor they put in, and just all of the people that's able to make money off of them throughout their careers before they get to the NFL. I think that a lot of entities like the NCAA and outside of the NFL, I think that there are multiple systems that the athletes go through that should be able to create some type of safety net. You feel me? And make it where they're not just so exposable, disposable. Shit, you don't mean nothing to me no more, so you can't do nothing for me no more, so I don't care about you.
I agree. I think where it gets weird for me is there has to be a level of accountability. These are adults. What is interesting for me, though, is how easily we forget that these are still, by the time they get to the league, very young adults that have not lived real life.
They in their early 20s.
But there's also money managers and people who are in the league. They specifically talked about this woman, and I forgot her name, but she's like an NBA insider that is crucial to the NBA, and they all call her like mom or something like that. And she consults them on their finances. They got formal financial advisors. Their agents got a hand in that. So it's how sorry can I feel for you for ending up homeless if you mismanage millions of dollars, millions of dollars? And maybe I don't respect or understand the way that the money flows and the way money comes in and out. But it's just you know what I'm saying? How bad am I supposed to feel for you not really handling and setting yourself up?
Yeah, I can dig that. I can dig that concern. I feel like I just take into account how people be. I feel like responsibility and accountability is a part of this conversation, but I do think that a lot of people be in positions to be cash cows. So a lot of them don't have a lot of that autonomy or have the mental health, or to be able to deal with the type of stuff. I think that a lot of athletes be kind of bred to be star athletes from the time they're able to walk damn near. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's just certain things that don't get taught, or certain things that people just get conditioned to being taken advantage of, or having somebody do something for them. You know what I'm saying? I know me being at the University of Oklahoma for over 10 years. I know I've seen a lot of athletes, football, basketball, mainly football and basketball, but definitely other sports that's not part of the main, what they call it, revenue, you know what I'm saying, generating college sports. But I see that a lot of these people that come to these, you know what I'm saying, powerhouses like OU, they literally been bred to be a athlete.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the logic behind it, right? Because you know that in order to reach the levels that they're trying to reach, they have to invest a lot of the capital that most people spread around and be like, all right, let me try things out. Like, nah, I gotta put everything into this. And to say that, you know, put your all into the game, but then be able to pivot and then have like a whole nother career or a whole nother lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, a whole nother revenue stream. You know what I mean? Just it don't make sense. You know what I mean? So it's like,
not to mention, I mean, like probably the predisposition to, you know, substance abuse, considering that kind of rough transition and how it probably is for some people to go from being an athlete. You just used to play with LeBron a minute ago, you know what I'm saying? You whatever, and now all of a sudden that's not the case anymore for you as well. That could be a rough transition.
Allegedly knocking down LeBron's mom and all
I wasn't gonna say it, but there you said it.
Yeah.
And so went from that to that, and I mean,
I feel like we can't talk about Delonte West without talking.
But a moment of levity, and I'll leave it at this, is that we should definitely be a little bit more encouraging and inspiring toward each other. You know what I'm saying? Because like outside of this just being interesting, hot news, it's also something that people was ridiculing going in, talking about that man while he down bad, and people are doing it about AB instead of really considering that this man is clearly hurt and messed up about some shit. So you know, let's see how it pans out. But we definitely, I mean,
get in the bed, son.
Niggas need
my son and got to bed for the second time.
That's Snapchat.
Shout out to the Snapchat, man. Let me put my child to bed real fast again.
Yeah. So as George goes ahead to handle his fatherly duties, shout out to all the dads out there. We'll go ahead and switch it up, and instead of going into the conscious chop, we let my man come back. We can go ahead and get into the political chop.
All right, but
you know, do what I do best. I like to work. So it's a lot going on. I mean, not really. It's one thing going on. It's supposed to be election season, election year. You feel me? But all we're really dealing with is this impeachment. And why it's extremely sad that during an election year and an impeachment, the nigga getting impeached is still like it's the highest likelihood to, you know what I'm saying, to win. It's still, you know what I'm saying, a lot to be parsed through to kind of figure out which way this will end up going. So let's just start with the impeachment generally. I want to get y'all thoughts on a few things. Have y'all been keeping up? Y'all been paying attention? You know what I'm saying? So far, where y'all at in terms of the impeachment?
I tried to watch it and it was hella boring, but that was like the opening statements and shit.
A debater and a master teacher in rhetoric, and argumentation, and talking. But go ahead.
You said I should know better.
I didn't know
about my credentials and my driving career.
Yeah.
Did you call those into
I mentioned your credentials. Yes, I did.
What about them? You have to be a persuasive speaker. I don't have to respect anything that you say just because you've been appointed or elected in a position to do some shit. You have to still be good at it.
All right, excuse me.
It should be your job to keep the attention of the public.
Okay, so it's boring. I could dig that. I'm not gonna defend it.
But outside of that, just like the sound bites and kind of conversations around and about it, the kind of pivot to talk about abuse of power, and focusing on that is kind of the hook for the impeachment has been the most that I've had in the conversation. What you got?
And we're gonna get into that too. What you say, Joe?
But I feel like just in the big picture, me knowing that there is just a 2% chance, a 1.5% chance of the removal actually happening because of the demographic of the Senate, it made it where it's just kind of just like almost the movie been spoiled already. Like I'm not really curious and interested of how the movie gonna end. I already know how it's gonna end. You can keep them little details of the rising climax and falling climax to yourself. Because we know, like, as a matter of fact, I was with one of my colleagues today. He put it like, George, you only have to have 4 Republicans to have a conscience for this. And I was like, man, 4, that's a big number. That's a lot of Republicans.
Yeah. I mean, especially in today's age. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, oddly enough, I haven't been, watching every second of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a nigga at the end of the day. And I don't just sit and watch that shit. I mean, I watch it the same. To be honest, this is what I say. I watch it the same way people watch Love and Hip Hop, for the mess.
Yeah, that's real.
You feel me? I watch it for the mess. And so yeah, and so there are some interesting things that I want to point out. But based off of y'all understanding, because it seemed like y'all up on game. I do want to put some grades out there. This first part of the political chop. I want y'all to put some grades out there based on how y'all feel coming from these parties that we'll mention. And let's start with the Democrats. You feel me?
The
Coming
Dems, huh? Liberal logic, huh?
coming off of, you feel me, Adam Schiff looking like a rock star. I mean, as boring as Toya has said, Adam Schiff has been lighting it up in the media. He is the one of the House managers that was elected by Nancy Pelosi to represent the House Democrats in the impeachment trial. You feel me? You got Hakeem Jeffries, senator that your man's
Hakeem he been the one I seen more in the news.
Yeah. He ended up quoting Biggie, and as he broke down very eloquently, might I add. You know what I'm saying? I actually rock with Hakeem Jeffries more than I rock with Cory Booker, to be for real.
Agreed.
But you got him quoting Biggie after breaking down all of the.
What exactly did he quote from Biggie? What exactly did he say?
Well, that's what I'm saying. After he broke down all of the evidence of the abuse of power charges, and he was really talking to Republicans and was like, "And if you don't know,
now you know." Nigga.
You move. So you got that. You feel me? What else? What else?
What up, Dr. Dancy?
That's what really stands out. That's what really stands out the most. But based on what y'all been hearing in those types of comments, what grade do y'all give Democrats in the impeachment right now?
Lee?
I'm gonna give him a solid C+, man.
A C+. That's actually better than what I thought you were gonna give him. Why are you giving him a C+, George?
I'm gonna give them a C+ for effort, and they kind of half-ass putting together the criteria of what you need to be able to get you a C+. So I'm gonna give them that. You feel me? I know that when it comes to the impeachment and when it comes to kind of going through the process of impeachment, I think they upholding the standards a little bit, but I don't think they're that persuasive, and I do think that they are a bit out of touch with general Americans, i.e. conservatives. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they ain't really like if I'm tapping into Toya's box a little bit. They're not being persuasive. I feel like it's almost like, of course, Donald Trump has been abusing his powers. Duh. It's just like that's not a good persuasive argument.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and we'll discuss more. So you know what's that's in response to, but okay, a C+ for effort. That is one thing that I've heard. One of my OGs at work, one of the only other brothers in there. Like he actually texted me, was like, "Yo, you gotta give it to them. Like they really, they busting their ass for this. You feel me?"
I give them that.
Toya, what's up?
I'm gonna give him a solid C.
The
reason why I'm going with the C is that I feel like they're trying and the effort is there to really kind of slam dunk this impeachment situation, and I'm curious about what is really happening. I think on behalf and at the behest of the 4 Republicans that needed change, you got the 2 Republican women. I forget their names. No, one of them. I forget the 4 that are most likely the moderates that are close to being willing to flip and kind of the end game that they have to calculate and play. But I'm wondering about kind of the internal backdoor dialogue about that and how effective that's actually going to be. Because I think the example that I heard about on the radio was back in Watergate when 1 vote is what got Richard Nixon impeached. And that 1 vote was somebody who lied the morning of and said they was going to vote a certain way. And when it came down to the vote, they was a holdout. And then lo and behold, went ahead and decided to not have him removed from office. And so it was a whole, I'm curious about that. The other reason I give him a C though is because to me it's too many eggs in this basket. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the Dems working and trying to stroke this impeachment shit, and it really might not pan out how they think it's going to. And ain't nothing happened on the other side in terms of them holding the line on making this impeachment meaningful, which is coming up with another presidential candidate that can actually fill the void once you get Donald Trump on out of there and really kind of break that party in half and expose others of his constituents. So I give him a C just because I'm underimpressed and I don't feel like it's any end game that connects and ties these two loose ends together. Because the impeachment and election need to work together to me, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know what? I'm gonna jump out the window, and I'm gonna give him a B+. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give Democrats. I'm gonna give Democrats a B+ because I think the effort that they putting forth is one that I didn't expect, given the uphill battle they know that they face. And I do think that the difficulty behind this whole thing is the fact that there isn't a viable candidate. Because I think if the impeachment had, like you said, that election element to it, that it was intricately tied to, you know what I'm saying? Because you had Kamala Harris, who is considered one of the jurors, you feel me, of the impeachment, with her being a senator. So, you know, with her being out of the race, with Cory Booker being out of the race, with you know, people not liking Joe Biden but him leading in the polls, people not liking Bernie Sanders, but he has the highest margin to beat Donald Trump in early polls. If that means anything, it's too vague. You feel me? It's back and forth everywhere, and so because that election element is missing, or that leadership element is missing, that leadership quality is missing. That's why I won't go any further than the B+. But I feel like the case that they have made is really, under any other circumstances, would be a slam dunk. This is like literally white privilege playing out at its finest. Agree or disagree?
See, I think it is, but I feel like I guess into ironically talking to the person about to go to law school. I feel like from a legal perspective, they got a lot of gray, man. To me, even talking to people that don't really be in the capital P politics shit like we be in, I have a hard time sometimes explaining to somebody what Donald Trump actually did wrong, especially because of how arbitrary it is to say abuse of power.
Oh man, why do niggas constantly put me in positions where I gotta take the position, the positions that Democrats take it, bro? Because this is why I ain't trying to put you in a position.
I ain't trying to pigeonhole you in that position.
I don't like being called a Democrat, bro.
Because you know I be on TikTok all the time, so you know what I mean. A lot of people that engage me, they engage me about things that's going on in politics, and I just know from all the conservative, all the maggot supporters, you know what I'm saying? They come in me type shit. I ain't gonna cap. Sometimes I have a hard time explaining to them in my opinion, sometimes the rigidness of the abuse of power and how they see it as just being arbitrary and just seeing it as, this is just a way for Democrats to be able to make an election illegitimate and this, that, and the other. So,
all right. And so we'll address this and then we're going to get into the Republican grades. Actually, I think that's a perfect segue into the Republican grades. Okay. And I'll go first with where I would grade them. And I want y'all to know, I want to know from y'all, you know, based off this background information, what y'all would grade them, right? And this may sound biased as hell, given the fact that I gave Democrats a B+, but I'm giving Republicans an F.
See, I'm giving Republicans a B+.
Straight up. This is why I'm giving them an F. All right. The reason why people have a fundamental misunderstanding of what Donald Trump did wrong is because they don't understand international relations. We have a relationship with specific countries that we make commitments to. True. Those commitments are based off of our strategic, you know what I'm saying? Whatever strategic agreement we come to with that other country, right?
True.
So when we make these agreements, we're supposed to follow through on these agreements. Now, if you are, as a person in leadership, say, all right, yeah, I know we made this agreement, but to make sure that I go through with this agreement, I'm gonna need you to do something for me. That's crooked. You know what I'm saying? That's
crooked. I agree with you, but the Republicans I be engaging with, they call it politics.
That's not politics. You feel me?
I'm just
And, hold on. I'll tell you. What you think though?
I dare to agree with Joe. Like that is like I'm trying to understand the quid pro quo, tit for tat. You
Don't
should
do this
be
to
able
me,
to kind of want to kind of understand the legitimacy that is like wrong.
Damo, we're not being argumentative, Damo.
No. I know y'all not being argumentative, but y'all really
vagueness.
okay.
I'm not defending Donald Trump. I'm just saying the vagueness of why it's like in debate. Like, what's the impact? Like, what is I did something and then like you do something back? Like we do that as adults all the time. Like we don't directly exchange shit for shit. Like I don't go buy your food and then immediately after that you cash at me all the time. Sometimes I buy at this time and then next time around you just go ahead and put my stuff on your order. You know what I'm saying? It's
True.
not that's
okay.
Relationship. That's solid, thorough, healthy relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just
right, but the problem with it though is, first of all, we're talking about the president of the United States. All right, let's keep that in perspective. So even if there's this understanding that it's just politics, the president of the United States is supposed to be above those types of politics. And the main issue is that it had to do with personal gain. There was no strategic value when the president is operating with other countries. It's supposed to be, okay, how does this benefit the United States? And I know niggas like to think, well, politicians are greedy and selfish. So, whatever they do, they're doing it for themselves. It's like, nah, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. Though. Like, yes, but no. They have to be smart enough to characterize it in a way that is the greatest good for the greatest, most common, even if it's self-serving.
Right. I mean, because if it's good, like if we talking about international relations, first of all, it's military funding. It's shit they need. He was like, and he withheld it. He withheld it for an election to actually have an investigation ran. Not really though. Just say that they're doing it. The same thing he did to beat Hillary Clinton. He was doing that. He did that to try to beat Joe Biden. To create this air of doubt, to kind of put it out there. The same thing he did with Obama. That's what he always does. You don't need proof of anything. Just have somebody say it to where enough people could, could put their own dots together. Yeah. He did it with the Obama shit. What was it?
The birther movement.
The birther movement. He did it with the emails. You feel me? And then he did. So this is a pattern of behavior that's manipulative, and it's an example of abusing one's power. Because even if it's politics, if it's that blatant that it's only to help you, if it's that blatant,
that's probably gonna be the tiebreaker.
See, I feel like I think I can rock with you. What you saying? I agree. I'm just going on shit. I feel like what most Americans, I feel like when I say most Americans, particularly conservatives, and in my mind, it's just like they don't see it, bro. They just
but see, when you're dealing with them type of people, they don't want to see it. But check this out though. So here we go.
Because before you make that point, you know what they usually say with me when they play that game? They usually say, yeah, those Democrats and liberals act like they're so much for the environment, but here goes Biden's son working for a oil company in Ukraine.
Look, and it ain't even supposed to be about. It ain't even about the environment. It's supposed to be about corruption. The whole anyway. All right,
but you see what I'm saying though? You see what you said though?
Yeah,
I agree with you, but at some point with Republicans, it started getting regressive. It started being like, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that?
Extremely regressive.
Oh my God. You feel me? It needs to be like, because I agree with you. It's like, hold on, so
is
this about the environment, or is this about, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is about the environment or corruption? Which one now?
Right. Yeah. Yo, but so I want to hear y'all grade after this though. So the reason why I give him an F is because so we can understand how the president, like this is the president using the office for personal gain, right? Like that's clearly what happened, right?
Clearly.
Now, the defense that Republicans are using is that abuse of power is not an impeachable offense. Which is how do y'all grade that as a strategy?
I'll give you a D.
You give them a D?
Because you said something. Like a lot of my kids get D's because like you wrote something that
nice. You nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'm effort. and things. But that's just dumb to me. And this is something we kind of alluded to when talking to you on the phone earlier. It's just like anytime you have the evocation of language like abuse, that is, to me, that demonstrates like the pinnacle of wrongdoing, right? Like it wasn't like executive misconduct or like executive negligence or like something like that. Like it was abuse, nigga.
Which
like
could be criminal.
On the level of
executive negligence could be criminal.
It could be, but this is the apex of criminality when we start talking about abuse. Yeah. And so like that's where it starts to get like real, to me. Like, it's like, what do you mean? Like, how did you have to do those calculations?
Right. George, correct me if I'm wrong, bro. But when you put abuse on anything, isn't that liable for charges?
I agree, fam. I agree so much where
you give him a B plus though?
I'm gonna give him a B plus though still. This why I'm gonna give him a B plus. They have mastered how to deploy their white privilege, bro. You gotta think about it. The same people that saying this not impeachable, they was ready to impeach Obama behind saying if I had a son, he looked like Trayvon Martin. That was seen as an abuse of power because he's trying to use his position of presidency to be able to sway the emotion of the public, and that was seen as an impeachable act. You feel me? Okay. These white folks, bro, especially these white conservatives, man, when it comes to abuse, they start playing mental gymnastics, bro. No, to the point where they start picking out other things. And I'm just looking at this. Us three having this conversation as three educated people that think for ourselves and think critically about the implications of politics and the results of politics. The people we talking about though, fam, as far as they're concerned, the Democrats have been trying to undo the election of President Trump since 2014, whenever he got elected, or 2016. And to me, that's why I'm giving it a B plus, because it's so many conservatives that I be around that literally see it as a witch hunt.
Yeah.
And to me, you have to give them their credit for that. Like they literally see it as
you give them credit for that?
Yeah, because they mastering it. They doing it, dog. If you
convince a whole bunch of dumbasses, bro.
Yes, bro. You should give Trump, man, you should give Hitler credit for being able to mobilize Nazi Germany the way he did. You feel me? He was persuasive. Was it good? No, you gotta give him his credit though.
Whoa.
Listen, man.
Listen, man. Am I tripping?
Analogies are analogies.
Am I tripping? Nah, stop protecting this nigga. He's wilding.
It's dark.
You don't give credit. You don't give credit for a nigga to be able to manipulate vulnerable populations, bruh. You don't give niggas credit for that shit. Like, I mean, literally for blatantly lying. The defense is literally saying the shit that's like that literally, if this isn't impeachable, you can't impeach the president for anything. Hey, the president abusing his power in principle, period, is completely.
I just think that McDonald's is able to always use its credibility, its political capital, to lie to the people in the hood and say eating a old high sodium having ass salad is good and healthy. Like it doesn't change. Like they are lying, bro. But they have convinced so many people that if you go to McDonald's and buy some shit from here, it's good. And look, George, McDonald's benefits, bro. Like McDonald's benefits. They're an international corporation.
I hear you, bro. Tell you, what do you grade Republicans?
In my what?
You said a D. Your grade for Trump.
I gave him an L. No, I gave him a D. I did.
You gave him a D because they
wrote their name down.
I did.
I think that was the best grade. A D because they wrote their name down. My F is. I mean, I
go with Toya's D, but in my mind, the Republicans is so mastery of bullshit. They have convinced the other Republicans that the D is the new A.
Really, what it is, enough of the class.
A B or an A, you want to be with the establishment. Donald Trump is going to drain the swamp. If you want to get an A or a B, you go with the swamp. If you want the swamp to be drained, you better embrace your D. And to me, that's like mentality, bro.
All right, well, we can talk about this all night.
Real, I'm trying to be provocative, bro.
No.
Shout out to Topher Town. Shout out to Jason Music. Shout out to White Fat Album.
Bro, shout out to niggas out on our podcast.
Yeah, shout out to my old Hayden Simpleton ass Black Republicans, man. Y'all have done a number. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Shit. So moving on to the next part of the political chop. Yeah, because I can't with this.
I'm being real, though. I swear.
Moving on.
I live in Oklahoma, bro. I live in Oklahoma. Give me some benefit of that.
I
I live in
know,
Oklahoma, bro.
I know. You know, and I am in California, so it is it's a different experience. But
bro, I'm in a red state, and they let it down Trump down here.
so I'm gonna let you make it. You kind of in that. So, but yeah, whatever. Hillary Clinton. let's talk about Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton wilding, bro. She don't know when to shut up, bro. It's just like, you're not real, fam. You don't know how to, like, you don't know no hood loyalty if it bit you in your ass. You feel
Would
me?
you hear,
even if you got a free bottle of hot sauce, if she got a free bottle of hot sauce for keeping it real, she would figure out a way to say fuck being real and fuck that bottle of hot sauce.
She bad at this, bro.
That's what I think, fam. The fact that she making comments about what Bernie Sanders said, or whether people like Bernie Sanders or not, or like the fact that she making these statements is like, listen, man, is you doing this for your own personal self-serving vendetta, or is you really trying to unite the Democratic Party? Like, what you trying to do?
Right.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous because I really don't see the. I don't really see the benefit in none of this.
I don't see the benefit of it at all.
Like, all it can do is make her look bad, bro. Yeah. Like, all it can do is make her look bad. I mean, and this ain't really the time for this to happen. Like, this really ain't a time for like these kind of silly ass distractions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she should have said this shit when it was 50 candidates.
What?
Well,
she should have said this shit when it was 50 candidates.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real though. Well, this is terrible timing.
What you mean terrible timing? It's just a whole bad idea. You feel me? A whole bad idea. Like,
you're taking interviews to come on now. Like,
I mean, what do y'all think she felt like she was gonna get out of that though? Like, what do you get out of that? I mean, even though I agree with a lot of her criticism of Bernie Bros, and how, you know, his campaign don't really do nothing to, you know what I'm saying, to challenge the bullshit they be on. Agreed.
I haven't heard a meaningful just a way he's addressed their existence for real, especially in the cycle
at all.
You know what I'm saying? Just to address their existence. So, you know, that's a valid criticism, but I mean, the pettiness though, and this is what really fucked me up about this whole shit, is that Republicans is actually out here looking that bad.
Lord.
Leave my camera alone. My wife is worse than George kids.
Don't say it too loud. My son might wake up right now.
Yeah. Shout out to my lovely wife. She got home from the gym, making her presence known.
Thank you.
But anyway, Republicans are out here looking that bad, and you niggas is still out here making yourself look stupid. Like, how do you? This is like the girl that you got a crush on. You know you look better than her boyfriend. You feel me? You know you both fly.
I went straight to a debate metaphor. It's like the app is not topical. It doesn't have any advantage. The negative got up and said anything but the app. Like, my nigga, you didn't. You know, can I get a diss ad? Can I get a uniqueness claim?
Look, and you know what? And you know what? And then they got up there and read 10 minutes or 9 minutes worth of blocks, and they have nothing to do with the debate.
Nothing.
That's what's happening right now. You feel me? It's like Democrats and Republicans are trying to one up each other on, like, how stupid can we make ourselves look? You know what I mean? That's why I feel like I give the Democrats some credit in terms of the impeachment, because I feel like, you know, the numbers is bad for them in terms of Congress, but like looking at when you look back on history, I feel like Democrats are gonna be on the right side of history. But I really don't think this was something that helped. Not only Hillary, but just the case against Donald Trump, period. Because all we do is get more ammo.
See, to me, I feel like I already thought about it to the end so much, where I know in America, most Americans is real simpletons, that if you don't get proven guilty, that automatically mean you are innocent and that you won. So because I already know that this whole impeachment removal thing is going to be illustrated as a Donald Trump victory, just make it where I can't be there investing in it. You feel me? Like, I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like gentlemen got found now guilty. Just like that police officer got found down guilty. Just like, to me, that's why I see, you feel me? He gonna be found down guilty, and it's gonna prove that he's a great president and that the Democrats, liberals have been trying to sham his presidency from the jump in 2016. And
yeah, George, you need to lay off the propaganda.
I'm
But
surrounded by propaganda here in Oklahoma, guy. Like I'm surrounded by it, bro. I'm talking about it.
I'm
talking about it. Even when I go, as a matter of fact,
Privilege.
shout out to everybody in Amarillo, Texas. I'm in Amarillo, Texas this weekend. And guess what? In Amarillo, Texas, they trumpets too. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, this what I'm around, fam. Almost they have successfully made me seem as the crazy person to certain people.
yeah,
You gotta give them that credit for that, fam.
Yeah, bro.
I think credit for that, fam. They make me seem like
I think it's just because you running. Nah, bro. Like I can't give you credit for you know what I'm saying, like just a complete manipulation of like that. I mean, it's like you asking me to give you credit for like cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Like they say in the streets, pimps up, hoes down. Pimps do a lot of manipulating, man. But pimps always benefit from the things they hoes do. And let me tell you something. The Republican Party got some loyal hoes, man. They hoes is not gonna turn them down for nothing. And they don't want no other daddy. They don't want no other pimp.
Yeah.
Shit. Hey, listen, you can be doing it for free.
But they're a minority though. That's what I'm saying. Like this is the problem. We gotta stop elevating.
I agree. That is a minority.
Giving them more credit than they. You know what I'm saying? They don't deserve no credit because they don't. What they have is a manipulation of numbers. They ain't got no power for real. It's just
true. True. I give you that one. I think you got me on that one. Yeah, I might be giving them too much credit. But maybe I'm just lost in the sauce of Republican red. But
Toya, if you could give us a best case scenario out of this, what does Hillary Clinton get out of this?
Yeah, I'm curious.
The social consciousness of the citizens or voting capable people in the United States of America takes over. They look over the Democrats' blunders and lack of a redeemable candidate and just say enough is enough of Donald Trump. That's the best case scenario. That's all I got.
I'm actually curious. Hey, Toy, do you think Hillary should have just ran again?
Hell no.
I would have been curious. I was curious. I would have enjoyed seeing it.
I don't think I would have.
You would have enjoyed seeing Hillary run again?
I don't think I would have enjoyed seeing it. I think it would have been part. I think it would have been par for the course for everybody else who's been at it, shaking and stirring and everything. Shit,
I'm petty and I'm missing.
It'll really be. I think it'll take the whole may the best woman win. Like then the New York Times just put out their endorsement.
I would love to see Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and Hillary
Amy
Clinton.
Klobuchar, but Amy Klobuchar be in there trying to talk her shit too. She's bad at it, but she be in there trying to talk her shit. She can come.
Yeah, I mean it'll be too susceptible to infighting, and not even. It's already too much infighting that's going on now. Sure. Y'all saw how they came at Obama. You feel me? Obama wasn't even holy to these niggas. So with Hillary Clinton being back, that's just too much baggage. And then and to be honest, Hillary Clinton would be more. She would be more MO for Donald Trump. So yeah, Hillary. Shut up. Last part of the political chat, we're gonna make this quick. Cardi B is talking about running for political office. Interestingly enough. And it got me to thinking, right? Because what I always felt like would have been a perfect duo would be Oprah and Michelle Obama, just based off cultural value alone. Same thing she did. So from y'all perspective, should we be thinking vote Cardi? Should we be thinking vote Beyonce, vote Oprah? You know what I mean? Bernie Sanders is actually supporting the idea. Bernie Sanders think it's something that like, yo.
I think that was the right thing for him to say. I don't think he wants to sit up here and argue with Cardi B on a stage about a motherfucking thing. You know, I don't think he would enjoy that. I don't think he would justify her or validate her as a real candidate. I think he would try to be demeaning and condescending and probably bring up some shit that he feels like will make her unqualified for it. So lip service. It was cute, whatever. I think a lot of people are banking on this Cardi thing being a social media moment and not being something real. And I personally, her makes it interesting. Like, what would it be like in a Cardi run society or community or whatever? But I'm sick of seeing celebrities come in here and muck up some shit that other motherfuckers is taking super serious. And so for those reasons, I'll pass.
Yeah, maybe not a Cardi B, but I do think there are celebrities that have been able to run for T.I. I don't think T.I. be good with international relations either. But give me a Bun B. I'll take a Bun B. I'll take a Scarface. Scarface and Bun B.
And you know what?
I'll take a Killer Mike who really make a run for it.
Yeah, I take a Killer Mike too.
Mayor Killer Mike.
I take a Sister Soldier.
I think it's dope that you bring up Scarface because he did run for city council for Houston. Unfortunately, he lost, which was heartbreaking because I felt like, he doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like he taking the reins of or attempting to take over the reins of his community, be a voice for people who typically get left out. I mean, studies show over 70%. There are I think like 12 million something African Americans who live in districts where it's 77% is represented or they're unrepresented on the state city council alone. You feel me? So it's like, shit. I mean, when people with that type of influence that got the people ear that ain't boring to you, that people like to listen to you.
So offended by that. All I said was the opening statement for boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm watching more.
Ain't my fault.
But like people that could get it, that could get somebody ear. I feel like if they got the heart and I mean they got the right focus, I mean why not? So why not vote Cardi? People voted for Donald Trump. I mean, I feel like after Donald Trump became president, like I think the doors just kind of flew wide open.
I do agree with that statement though. A lot.
So you feel me? It's ways that Cardi B could be more beneficial than.
I mean, I think we might have learned from Donald Trump is to take niggas serious because he clearly wasn't playing, and niggas was stopping him off for a few election cycles, and now all of a sudden.
And with that being said, Toya, maybe 5 years or 6 years ago when he said it, I didn't take him serious at all. No. And even though I think he's full of shit to this day, I believe that if old Kanye West decided that he was gonna try to run for some shit, man, he got enough hippie liberals, enough Christians, and enough conservatives on his side. We can do something.
Nah, yeah. I mean, listen, we giving Kanye too much.
Maybe not on the federal level, but you know what I'm saying.
Look, he is what Republicans need to wave at niggas and be like, "Go Kanye, go Kanye, go." But then when it comes to put him in power, they'll be like, "Oh well, hold your horses there, Kanye." Like, we like the music, we like your albums. That's about it. Unless we don't want you, we don't want you to start nigga. Fact. So yeah, that's the political chop. It's good to be back. Stay tuned. This impeachment can only get more interesting. And even if it's just political theory, the results of him staying, I think us as a lesson, us as Black people in the United States learned a lesson. And that's the heights that white privilege could take you.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Man. Bada bing, bada boom.
What's next? What we doing, George?
Hey, so this we gonna finish this session off tonight. What we gonna call this the history chop? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, history chop.
The history chop. Shit, what we know is today is Thursday. We just got through celebrating the Martin Luther King Day on Monday. You feel me? And what we know is here in America, when it comes to Martin Luther King Day, everybody kind of recycle and repurpose their old, Martin Luther King quotes. You know what I'm saying? Just curious, because I'm sure all three of us know, and to y'all that don't know, in podcast in a chop up nation is listening right now. The legacy of Martin Luther King has been refurbished and redistributed and refurbished and repurposed and redistributed. So
more than that $200 iPhone.
Man. More than, you know what I'm saying? More than that $200 iPhone that's now $1,500. You know what I'm saying? My first question, though, you feel me? Just to try to start it off a little smooth, like, you know what I'm saying? What does it say about America when it loves Dr. Martin Luther King for all that he accomplished through the means of nonviolent protests, while at the same time hating the light-skinned brother Colin Kaepernick for the same thing in terms of nonviolent protests? Like, what does that say about America?
Go ahead, Tay.
That they are just as contradictory and nonsensical and illogical as we thought they were. And the thing is, the ones who need to make that connection the most are the ones who are incapable of doing the inner intellectual heavy lifting to see kind of the inconsistencies there. They don't see the connection. I'm not gonna lie. When you pointed it out, I was like, well, I'll be damned. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something that I just, maybe it should have been more obvious on the surface. But when you think about how they choose to sanitize one and demonize the other one, it makes a lot of sense that they don't equivocate the two together, because Martin Luther King just didn't do it. He just was so different than Colin Kaepernick. I mean, but when you get down to like how, and then they can't.
You know what the argument is to me? The argument that I've heard is that Martin Luther King actually loved America, and Colin Kaepernick wants to rip it apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know what? What it simply comes down to is that in Dr. King's time, they hated him then. They appreciate him because they told to appreciate him. People are sheep, goddammit.
I'm mad I ain't think about it this straightforward.
You never do, bro. You never do.
I always figure out a way to go all the way around. I made a 3-part 1-minute video. I made 3 1-minute videos about polls from Dr. King, how in 1960 America had a 76 disapproval rate amongst Americans. In 1980, shit literally flip-flopped. You know what I'm saying? He had a 70% approval rate now.
Think about the context of that. They literally went around and be like, "What you think about Dr. King?"
They did though.
The nigger who wants us sitting next to. I don't like it.
All right.
That's literally what happened though. He's asking for too much too soon. He wants too much too soon. He needs to be more patient. I agree with his goal. I disagree with his method.
The same people that's talking about Dr. King loved America, their grandparents couldn't stand him. They called him a communist. Come on, bro. Like, I mean, but that's because Dr. King isn't the Dr. King that, you know, NBC talks about and the news talks about and people talk about. Isn't the Dr. King that really existed? It's a character.
It's a sanitized, romanticized Dr. King that they have literally shaved off to be able to tone police black people. When niggas do something they don't like, they get to be like, well, what Martin LutherKing knew. Well, come on, Toya.
Because he said way more than I have to
talk about this bullshit.
Like,
he said way more than
Damo, are you really going to use the services of Martin Luther King in vain? You going to sit your black ass here on a chop up and complain now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm complain. Because remember, y'all killed him.
Damo, you can shit next to white people. Here. You can take drink next to white people.
Yeah, he didn't. That's the thing.
Betty White or
like first 2 things. This nigga didn't die for anything. He was killed behind some shit. And the bullet killed him. The government killed his ass. It's proven in the court of law. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, know the history, talk about the history. I'd rather spend time talking about exposing the government mishandling than you manipulating and flipping what the hell he stood for.
Yeah,
talk about government corruption.
And that's why, I don't listen to. I mean, I feel like I avoided all news on Dr. King, on Dr. King's holiday. Is it really his birthday? That Monday? Is that really his
birthday?
His birthday can't be Monday every.
His birthday is January 15th. I celebrated on like the 3rd.
The Monday.
I avoid the news because it's like hearing that particular group of people talk about Dr. King and his legacy. It's unfulfilled. His legacy was not
check me out on TikTok,
integration.
Man. I made me a video about this very topic, man. The video got 250,000 views. I made it about 2 days ago. And pretty much a lot of the responses that I'm getting, I want to point out 95% of the folks that disagree with this comparison was white as all outdoors. And they literally made the same arguments. This is apples and oranges. How dare you compare Colin Kaepernick to Dr. Martin Luther King? In my mind, common? They both was hated in their life. They both did nonviolent protests. They both literally people agree with their goal, but disagree with their method. But just like, what do you?
Yeah, but see, I think what they're getting caught up on is more so the quote. Like they're saying you're comparing him. It's like, nah, he's not. You're not comparing Dr. King to Colin Kaepernick in terms of they impact.
You are identifying the stark similarities that shape a clearer and bigger meta argument about the damn social consciousness of Americans and how they understand shit.
Well, because they want you to believe that the legacy of Dr. King's integration.
Exactly.
They want you to believe that the legacy of Dr. King is you can go to school with white people. Like that's why they talk about the I Have a Dream speech so much. The little white girls and little white boys and black kids, and that's why they do that, because they think that the goal was to be allowed to use the same goddamn restroom. That wasn't the goal. Stokely Carmichael, that's the OG, for the simple fact that he gave me a perspective on the Civil Rights Act that I couldn't even fathom before he broke it down. The Civil Rights Act was not for black people, as Stokely Carmichael puts it. He says the Civil Rights Act was for white people. And it was to tell white people that, hey, they should be allowed to do this shit. You feel me? They should be allowed. It wasn't we are giving them the rights to be able to. It's telling white people stop not letting them.
Literally.
You feel me?
It's like black folks been knowing we can vote, but them motherfuckers over there didn't know we can vote. So
yeah, we know that we should be able to.
Over there, they can vote.
We knew that we should be able to. We knew that, like, hey,
we didn't know we can go into public spaces and places. Those folks over there didn't know we can go into public spaces and places. So they had to write a piece of paper to say, hey, let them niggas over there get into this space and place and stop not letting them because they niggas. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Damo, you should. I'm definitely gonna screen record this part right here. You know what I'm saying? But you should definitely make your TikTok video just about Stokely Carmichael about this right here. Like this, yeah.
Nah, but facts. But that's why. That's why I think that's what we get lost in this whole conversation about Dr. King is, what is his legacy? White man.
So let me switch it up then. So let me think. Speaking of his legacy, so if King was alive today, what do you think he would be the most pleased concerning America? What would he be the most pleased with?
That it was a nigga president. I think that'd be the best that he could hang his hat on. That's it. Income inequality is terrible. You feel me? Like,
I think if he would have, I don't know. It's interesting. Not what he would have been proud of. I think he would have been proud of that shit. Like, clearly, I think I agree with Nico heartily, and even just like the black people who are elected in office. But I wonder if he would have taken a more political turn, like a lot of his contemporaries did. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the people who was riding with him, marching with him, Cummings, Sanders, right? Like a bunch of people, but particularly the black ones. I wonder if he would have just went ahead and found a home in office and been like, been a part of this like last line of really kind of pivotal black politicians that really started making it a thing, who are now of age, and a lot of them are starting getting sick and passing away now.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of hard to imagine. It's like imagining Malcolm X in today's society.
Yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard.
It's hard
because it's like because even when we talk about King and X, not to kind of muddy the waters of the conversation, but when we talk about them, we also got to remember that they were killed at a time in which their politics was making a dramatic shift. Like King was tired of being considered the non-violence nigga. He wanted to focus more on economics. Malcolm X was done with the radical Islam. Yeah, it was more inclusive, black nationalism,
more multiculturalism,
and not even multiculturalism, black nationalism. That's what was bigger, because the Ballad of the Bullet speech was after he left the Nation of Islam. And that's when he started breaking down the political philosophy of black nationalism, the economic philosophy of black nationalism. And so with both of them, there was a shift in their politics that actually where they shit became more nuanced, where it was like, okay, now it ain't just about like speeches and marching. It's a specific thing that we need to focus on. Like Dr. King was like, we economically, like the economic position that people of color are placed in, because that's what he would say. He would say Negro. We say people of color are Negroes.
He say Negro.
Yeah. He probably say the Negroes of America.
Nobody asked you to. Nobody asked you for it.
See. I feel like for some reason I think that because I know the transition he was making before he got killed, before he got murdered. You know what I'm saying? For some reason I just feel like he would be very critical of it, but I think he'll be very proud of hip hop.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like me knowing that he's starting to get more about economics
bro.
and stuff. I think that to me, I think that he would have one of the most complex answers on black music and black hip hop, just because of how much he understood economics and him being a pastor preacher and him understanding that you ain't got no money in this world, you ain't got shit.
And he would only
understood all those
be
things.
Barbara Walters' age, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, him and Barbara Walters and Frank and Martin Luther King the same age today. I born 1929.
Yeah.
Hey, and too, Damo, just to make sure, is Barbara Walters a conservative?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say
like
so.
how do I know? I feel like I know about politics. Like what?
She
how do I know
a
about her?
reporter, a journalist.
She's okay. I'm like, how do I know
60
about
Minutes.
white woman?
Barbara Walters on 60 Minutes, but she was
60
Minutes. But she's just a journalist. Yeah. But yeah, I think I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if King. I think that King would have a particular. I think King would have a particular. I think Boondocks was right on point with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Boondocks is right on point with how Dr. King. Like it would be. It would be hard for him to fathom and understand because he was on the front. Like it's like being on the front lines of battle. Right.
See, but in my mind though, with him being on the front lines of battle, that means that I don't get to just like cut him at 1968 and just automatically paste him into 2020. In my mind, he would have been able to see how rap grew, how rap went from being the bastard child of America to being the #1 genre in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he'll be able to appreciate it.
Let me tell you why I'm so hard on yes and no. For the same reasons y'all was like, it'd be interesting to see a Malcolm X in this world and a Martin Luther King in this world. I'm interested in how their religious philosophies and personal politics really kind of navigate the multiplicity of blackness as we know it in 2020. Are you down with my queer ass? Are you down with my woman ass and how loud I am? Are you down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are questions I have to contemplate in terms of how they will
orient. You down with sexual liberation?
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like?
You're talking about Dr. King now. You know you got
hip hop. I want to know what you got to say about queer folk. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what you have to say about the multiplicities and the
what you saying though. We bringing up. Bringing up these issues are the most things I would be the most interested in when it comes to Dr. King and El Malik Shabazz, aka Malcolm X. Like, what do y'all think about queer, LGBT, the mode non-gender conforming, gender fluid, trans? You know what I'm saying? But also too, be curious too. So when she says she's gonna pop the pussy and she's gonna have power from the pussy, how do you feel about that, Reverend Martin Luther King?
He wouldn't fuck with
Malik Shabazz when Cardi B says that she's gonna put that pussy on the sideburns. Do you think this is a liberating act?
With it. I don't even know why y'all asking the question. Like,
I mean, I'm not.
This is a Muslim. Yeah, they not fucking. I mean, I think that they would have a different.
TD Jakes can say some shit about LGBTQ and be inclusive, man. Martin Luther King can change too, man. They showed us that they was evolving, you know what I'm saying? In 3-4 year period, they could evolve.
Well, I mean, let's not forget that when y'all arresting, a queer man was like the architect of a lot of King's legacy. So I mean, but King could have been a part of sanitizing that shit and not really making it. You feel me? We don't know that. The more we had this
conversation, the more I realized if King was still alive, he would just literally be seen as a broke ass has been that like being a victim and living in the past, like Reverend Al Sharpton.
They would treat him like shit, man. They would treat Dr. King like shit.
Oh yeah, he never. As a matter of fact, he'll be you're the reason why we have this, that, and the other King because you kept on bringing in the. You feel me? So it's really lead me to my last question then, you know what I'm saying? So let's say MLK was never murdered. Would he be as respected alive as he is in the grave? Why not?
I mean, I think no. And for the same reason you said before, who was that was quoting? Yeah, one of y'all was like 70. George was like, he was 78% disapproval rate, 76, 78.
Yeah.
And then when he died, by the time we got to the 80s, it was, niggas don't get to smell their roses, especially somebody like that was shaking it up like that. I think smell your roses is for like singers and artists and entertainers before they
go. We know this would have fit him definitely.
You ain't getting
Fits for him.
a holiday. You're not getting. I mean, people don't get holidays while they still alive anyway, most of the time. But
Yeah.
I think just the credibility and the care and the celebration and the more none of that. He would just be another nigga.
Yeah, I mean, activism is is a ugly business. I mean, ain't no hero, especially black activists. Ain't no heroes in that. It's kind of like art. It's like we don't care about you while you're doing it. We gotta everything that you did has more of an impact because you're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, and it may be inherent to just people because look at how they was quick to make what's his name? XXX Tentacion, call him a legend, and this whole thing.
It
and
was
I'm
like for 2 years, year and a half.
Tragedy. Yeah, that was a tragedy for sure. And he was making an impact, but you're doing a lot because the man died. So
yeah,
I definitely think that it took King being martyred. I mean, it took X being martyred. It took that bloody era in the late 60s, early 70s for their message to actually resonate the way that it should. And the sad thing about it is now we kind of we seeing like culture kind of unravel it a little bit. You feel me? Like we still put Malcolm X in this violent box, right? We still over sanitize Dr. King's legacy and leave out the economic portion. And that's because of who's controlling the narrative and who, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when the narrative is able to benefit America, like America could use Dr. King as a civil rights.
Yeah. I think that I was about to try to take one out your book and make it simple. Like the only good black activist is a dead black activist. So of course he would be respected if he still was alive.
That's right.
I think how you just put it in though is that shit. If Martin Luther King was alive, white America wouldn't be able to control his legacy the way they are able to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, they wouldn't rock with him because they wouldn't be able to say his legacy or he stood for this or he stood for that or he stands for this or he stands for that.
Yo, let me throw a monkey wrench in the game. Dr. King would have ran for office.
Dr. King would have ran for office, but another monkey wrench in my mind in 2020, cuz probably would have been conservative.
He wouldn't have been a conservative though. He wouldn't have been a conservative.
No.
He wouldn't have. But I mean, he wouldn't have been a conservative because
he would be not the most revolutionary, radicalized liberal Democrat, but I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to understand, like and bro, how many times I said like we got to stop equating black people with these liberal conservative paradigm. We don't fit within it. You feel me? Because there are certain principles that we consider conservative that Dr. King would adhere to. I mean, I would say that it's a lot of older black Democrats that have a lot of conservative values. That's the reason why a lot of old black Democrats will vote for Joe Biden before they vote for Bernie Sanders. Why he's still leading in the polls among black people because you know what I'm saying they have conservative values. Yeah. But it's more just old school shit. That's all it really is. It's like shit from a time that I liked. And that's all it is. But I think King would, I do think that he would have a kind of different relationship with queerness and, like that sexual, because he's a Christian man. That wouldn't change. You know what I mean? And so in a more secular world, he would be like a Maxine Waters. He would be like
that's true. He'd just be spicy. He would have been he would be deep.
I have some zingers and some one-liners, some sit your ass down, get your ass out. But
yeah. And you know what? He would have been a force in politics too. He would have been a force.
He would have dominated the 70s and 80s. He would have dominated the 70s and 80s.
Like, listen, if Dr. King, if I have a dream, Dr. King was literally, I don't think this "I Have a Dream" speech would be as impactful. I think it would be big, but with him passing, I think that's what made it bigger.
Oh yeah, but the Million Man March and "I Have a Dream" is really the inclusivity of "I Have a Dream" is making where white folks and I'm sorry, white people that's listening to this, whether you listen to it live or you not. I was being very critical of whiteness and white people, and let's keep it a stack, white people. Y'all have repurposed the legacy of Martin Luther King so much that it makes certain black people really not even rock with Martin Luther King because y'all have been so mastery of being able to tone police black folks and being respectable,
Yeah.
or not want to turn the other cheek, or want to stand up for themselves and be self-defense, or want to have any admiration towards, you know what I'm saying, Malcolm X, you feel me? We know that y'all didn't play cuz, you know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't play the OG, you feel me? But
let me ask y'all this though. Would Dr. King be somebody that would influence y'all to vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not
100%.
in that regard.
You said what?
I said, why wouldn't he be persuasive in that regard?
No, I mean, I just think. I wasn't like casting doubt on his ability to help y'all do that.
Good.
It was more.
I think that anybody that has any type of clout that Dr. King has, if he tells black people to do something, they do it a little bit. Feel me? And in my opinion, Obama didn't have it like that.
Created a lot more black politicians too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it would have helped out a lot more black politicians. I feel like
So he's making a face though.
No. I think it would have been. I actually had an interesting thought when you was like, would have kind of helped out a lot of politicians. It'd be like crazy if niggas would be on a podium like, I'm Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. approved, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I already know.
Man, and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was like the gold star of political.
That's the standard, right? And that's what, that's crazy. Hey, you know what?
It's really so much history that would be changed too, though. When you think about it now, think about it.
People don't talk about what would have been the political impact of Dr. King if he.
So we can already talk about it a little bit though, because me, I'm a disciple of, Black Panthers. We literally don't have a Black Panther Party without the assassination of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? So there's literally a lot of things in history that would completely be changed fundamentally if Dr. King was still alive. Because I know for a fact, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, literally one of the main reasons why they chose to make the Black Panther Party in 1960, whatever it was in Oakland, was because of the death of Martin Luther King and the death of Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking of I'm thinking of people in some different areas now. I'm thinking of like, what would a young Tupac Shakur be like if there would be a young Tupac Shakur if a Martin Luther King was around? Because I believe Tupac was gonna run for office too. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if a young Tupac is able to get guidance from a Martin Luther King that's 30, 40 years older than him.
I mean, because it's like when you think about when you think about like who, like the civil rights leaders that survived that era, they all became politicians.
Oh yeah, all of them.
You know what I mean? Like,
even when you think of radical people like Black Panthers, like they radical ass just started running for office.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, that's just crazy to think about. Like if Dr. King was able to, because at the time of his death, if he would have made it through, you know what I'm saying, the civil rights era, legend. Like
legend. Not only legend. Do we get the Reagan crack era? Do we get the Reagan crack epidemic in the 80s and Dr. King is alive? Does he have enough political capital, political power to persuade us to leave crack and Reagan alone? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, he does. Even if Reagan is still the president, the impact of Reagan's presidency is a little bit different. The trajectory is a little bit different if we got a Dr. King presidency, in my mind, especially if he gets to keep the capital that he built in the 60s and he didn't build on top of it in the 70s. By the time we get to 1984, Reagan, crack, freeway Ricky Ross, say no.
Yeah, man. It's crazy to think about though. Definitely what would politics look like with those type of leaders? You know what I'm saying?
Because in my opinion, Malcolm X even would have did some, you know what I'm saying? El Malik Shabazz.
Yeah, Malcolm would have. To be for real, he would have been on some real religious shit, like, cause he was already starting the United Mosques Incorporated.
Yeah.
So like his focus would have been, you know what I mean?
The only difference is that the Nation of Islam will have 3-4 branches, and one of the branches would be under Malcolm, and they probably be the only branch of Nation of Islam that's respected internationally. Because Islamophobia make it where niggas in America ain't respected when they get their Islam on. Yeah. So maybe El Malik Shabazz would add a little more international credibility to, you know what I'm saying, the American Negro Muslims.
Maybe.
Shout out to everybody in Islam, man. I made a video about Islamophobia. I said, shout out to everybody living in Islam. People try to play me and be like, "Where's the country Islam at?" I'm like, man, I'm from a Southern Baptist, you know what I'm saying, background, man. If we say shout out to everybody living in Christ, that don't mean the country of Christ.
Exactly.
What?
Niggas, stop making excuses for saying stupid shit.
It's not stupid. If you like living in Islam, and then you living in the faith of Allah, man. It's like
Listen,
you living
bro,
in Christ, you living in the faith of Jesus.
Okay, I get it. You from Bryan, Texas. Hey, before we end out the show, and I thought about it at first at the beginning of the show, but I definitely wanted to end up the show with a bang. Shout out to the Kansas City motherfucking Chiefs.
Basically.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Ultimately.
I'm rooting for y'all Kansas City Chiefs, man. Do not let these 49ers win, man.
No.
They did Kaepernick. We gotta vote. We gotta vote, damn it.
We gotta let another light-skinned black quarterback prevail, and that will be Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm saying no cap.
One of our mulatto brethren.
Get you Garoppolo, whatever your name is.
And that's
Jimmy.
Twin Star Jimmy, what they call him.
Hey man.
Hey, one last thing, actually. So I have an event in Kansas City, February 25th.
Yeah.
February 24th and 25th.
Yeah.
If Kansas City was to hypothetically win the Super Bowl, in my mind, I'll be there around the time of the day.
That would be
parade.
Perfect time.
Like,
bro, look at the pictures of when the Royals
won the
world.
They turned that motherfucking city out.
It's about to be like the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Chiefs
winning the Super Bowl is bigger than the Royals winning the World Series.
Agreed.
Kansas City
football is bigger.
I think
I might drive to Kansas City 5 hours with the kids and the wife. Like, baby, let's go.
Hey, I might be. The thing is, I might be going. I might be going home.
I'm gonna be bright red. Jesus Lord.
I might be going home.
I can't go. I'm trying to figure out what's good, man. But
I'm also thinking about going up to. I'm also thinking about going up to the Bay and watching the Super Bowl with Rashid up in the Bay.
Yeah, man.
Well, I love it. Yeah, boy, I love to go to the to Rashid and them and eat some crab and shoot the shit with them and watch. You know what I'm saying, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking about doing it though, for real.
Hey, shout out to my Bay Area followers. Shout out to everybody tuning in and listening to the podcast right now in the Bay Area, whether you're in Frisco, Oakland, Vallejo, you know what I'm saying, Hayward. Goddamn, it don't matter what part of the Bay you in. Listen, man, the country nigga like myself appreciates being in the Bay. It don't matter what part of the Bay I'm in either, man.
Hey, you know what? Being down here in SoCal, you feel me? The Bay is cool, but it's too damn cold up there, bro. You always need the jacket.
And one of my favorite hobbies is too expensive, so I keep my ass down here.
Yeah, you know?
On that note. On that note.
Yo, thank y'all. Let's go ahead, Toy.
Hey, nah, man, I was about to say the same thing. Just in appreciation for the people watching and listening who were doing it now, gonna do it later, and for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Another show in the books.
Yo, it's been real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay tuned. We got more on the way. Definitely.
I seen a video. I'm stuck in my head. Do the gat.
All right, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about them trends, but it's been real though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay tuned. The episodes will be up. The breakdowns will be up. The memes will be out. It's the new year. We definitely get started again. Episode 2 in 2020. Big things is on the way. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned. And this is the Chopper.
Chopper.
Chop easy, baby.
Yeah.